So, like some of you already know, like I did a blog. Oh, well, I guess that's better. You can see me. But some of you already know I did the blog on, well, short blog on Uranus in Taurus for next year. But I just really want to kind of talk about it. Let me turn my video this because I feel like I might post this. Who knows? Um, I feel like, I feel like, yeah, like I want to talk about how Uranus currently has affected me because the more I think about it, the more accurate, like, you know, like I swear to God, astrology has really helped me understand psychology on another level, like on a different type of level, like on another level. Because, so currently, Uranus is in Aries, right? And Aries rules, for me, rules my sixth house because I have a Scorpio rising. So those who have a Scorpio rising, which is very different from your sun sign, which I'm a Taurus sun sign. So this shit affects me like on another level. But as a Scorpio rising, Uranus currently is in my sixth house, and the sixth house, like I was saying before, rules health, and rules work. Just in simple terms, health and work. And Uranus is a planet, rules a lot of things. Rules freedom, rules astrology, rules um, individualism, rules sudden change, rules technology, and it goes on. But put it that way, right? So you have those two energies. You have the energy of Uranus entering an area of work and an area of health for me. So what did that look like for me? It looked like me changing jobs so many times within the 7 years. It looked like me, and in the jobs and it's funny because in the jobs that I was in, the roles were, I was always sick. Like in my body, I was like, I cannot be like a sales assistant. Like, what is that? I wanted to always be like a supervisor or a manager. So I made sure that that happened for me. So in Smiggle, when I was working for Smiggle, I became the supervisor of Smiggle in Stratford, Westfield, and then I worked for Nickelodeon, and I became supervisor on the for their finance. That is nothing big; it was just counting money at the end of the day. Like it was not that serious, but it was some form of power. And Aries is about that. Aries likes to be a pioneer. Aries doesn't like to be you rule me, like nah, I rule you kind of situation. Um, so even in the works I was picking, I was kind of like still with that energy because you still have to see that, okay, Uranus is in my sixth house, but my sixth house is ruled by Aries, and Aries is a pioneering energy. So how am I gonna act out that Uranus energy? I'm gonna act out in this area of my life, so through health and through work. But in through health and through work, I'm gonna want to be independent in what I'm doing, right? So, so now I swear to God, even I'm thinking like, I swear my thoughts are so flashing. I just need to collect them. But yeah, so now that I've, like, even in the work I was, like I said, like in the work I was doing, I wanted to be very free, right? I was seeking for freedom in that. So being instead of being a sales assistant, being a manager gave me some form of freedom. But anyway, that still didn't suit me. So even you guys, as you know, if you go through my old vlogs, you know I'm really talking about you don't have to work hard for anything, because as soon as you say you have to work hard, your brain forms makes that hard come, like makes it hard, right? That you're going to go through challenges, but you can't do what you want to do. So basically I was crying out to be independent, and I became self-employed. How I viewed health and work kind of merged together, because remember I said Uranus represents freedom, astrology, being individual, technology. So I became I started doing yoga, right? I started doing yoga because way before yoga, I didn't even look. Yeah, I'm born Kenyan. Like my family, we didn't really know. We didn't really deal with yoga. We deal with medicines, like doctors, nutritionists. That kind of vibe is within our family, right? So I went to school to study forensic science, and then I went to study medical science, and then I went to uni, which I didn't finish, to study public health. And like that didn't, like literally that didn't suit me. So I was thinking at that point of my life, I was like, what the hell am I going to do with my life? Like I'm really into health and helping people, but what am I going to do? And then somehow, some way, I found yoga, and I didn't find any type of yoga. I found at that time of where my consciousness was, I wanted to see where yoga began from, and I looked as far as Africa. So then I started doing. I got into Egyptian yoga. Um, And yeah, here I'm at. This is where I'm at right now. So doing being a Smartawi yogini. And then on top of that, I realized when I was little, I used to love the stars and the moon. I used to have a telescope. I used to always look up there. So I started my business in astrology, literally. And Uranus represents astrology. So Uranus coming into my sixth house of work, I started being an astrologer. Uranus coming into my sixth house of work, I became a yogini. I didn't want to depend on medicines. I was crying for freedom. Like, how can I be free from medicines? And I realized, hey, your body heals itself. Your body heals itself when you move this way, or you do this back rock, or when you do an upside down roly poly or whatever. If you do I'm just like talking at the top of my head, a headstand or whatever. All this stuff like affect your body a type of way. If you breathe, which yoga is all about breathing. When you breathe a certain way, or you breathe with intention, it helps you, right? So that was me being independent, because my breath is something I'm born with. My breath is me. It's me. So Uranus was, I was still being an individual in the way I perceived health. You see that, right? And I was independent in that, and that's the Aries energy. So I'm telling you, like, it just goes on. It makes me excited. So what I'm basically trying to say, like, Uranus currently right now has affected all this in my life for the last 7 years, because Uranus stays in one place for 7 years. So Uranus next year is leaving Aries for me and going into Taurus for everyone. Sorry, not just for me, but is going to Taurus. And Taurus was my seventh house. For you guys, it was something very different, but for me, it was my seventh house. So now bear in mind that when Uranus entered my sixth house, I changed work. I became self-employed. I changed my perspective on health. Now not depending on pharmaceutical health, I'm depending more on natural healing. I'm depending more on my breath. I'm depending more on my mindset. I'm depending on my perspective. I'm depending on how I'm feeling. I'm more intuitive with health and nature around me, because Uranus is an intuitive planet. It's one of the highest intuitive planets, we call it in astrology. So that became a theme for me, right? So now it going into my seventh house. And those who follow me, I'm just going to be like real honest. Like, my partnerships have been crazy. I've say crazy because crazy is an outlaw, is something that's not normal. It's not the norm, right? And so I really feel that energy of what's to come for the next 7 years. Uranus, you can't predict its energy. Like, no, we find it so difficult to predict Uranus, to do predictions with Uranus, just because it's the only planet you find very challenging to predict with. But you can kind of see. So I started the ways I formed my mindset of my relationship even changed. Like, I was in a polygamous relationship, for some of those who do know. I attracted all the partners that I have currently are very, very unusual. They're outlaws, they're rebellious, they're about revolutionary. They're just those type of people, right? And not only does the seventh house rules your one-to-one partnerships, it also rules your business partnerships. So even the people I've got into business with have been very unusual type of characters, energies. So I'm getting really what do you call it? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So I'm just seeing how Uranus is gonna start to affect me in the next 7 years. So it's like really been interesting, because I wasn't in astrology. I wasn't in astrology 7 years ago. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of data I get the next 7 years coming forward, and how this has affected me. Like, it's been amazing. And for those who know where like Aries rules for them, and you can find out this stuff. Like, if you know when you were born, like, you can do a reading for me, and I would do it very down to the aspects. But if you just want to get a quick gist, the internet is there for you, and that's it's there for you. Just quickly go and like I don't know, go and just like write birth chart on like Google or whatever, and just, if you don't know what time you're born, set it at 12 noon, which will give you very an inaccurate measure. There are astrologers who can do a chart correction. I don't do that myself, because it's a very tedious long process, and I don't do that. But there's astrologers you can pay to do that for. But you can just go online, look if you know what time you're born, just put it through, and then find out what house Aries rules for you. There's many systems of astrology, house systems of astrology out there. So the one I use is very different, but the one you'll find on the internet is mostly going to be placid ones. So some of you will see like Aries maybe rules two of your houses. If that's the case, then come to me. Let me do that reading for you, to be honest with you. Come to me. But if you do find that it rules two houses, like I don't know, it rules like your first house and your second house, then you now have the chance of your memory to be like, what has happened to me in these areas of my life in the past 7 years? Because the first house rules a different type of rules a different part of your life. The second house rules a different part of your life. Like the second house rules your form of security and your form of values. Your first house rules like your personality, your outer self, how you view the lens you view the earth with. So like I was saying to you guys, the sixth house rules health and work, seventh house rules partnerships. So knowing what house Aries is ruled for you guys allows you to kind of like look back every 7 years, like what happened in the last 7 years. How did I react to it? Because Uranus is the type of energy it's like the sun rises, the sun sets. There's nothing you can do about that, but how do you react to when the sun rises and sets? Oh, okay, it's going to be summer. So you know what? I'm going to take off this cloth here. I'm going to take off this. I'm going to put this in my hair. It's going to be like this. Oh, wait, it's winter. I'm going to put the coat. I'm going to put my coat on. I'm going to do this. That's a reaction to the energy presented to you, right? There's nothing you can do to that energy but react to it. So that is how we see Uranus. Like there's nothing you can do to Uranus but react to it. And your reaction really matters. I'm glad that, because Uranus is an intuitive side. I'm just glad that I reacted to it well, but there was challenges within that. But my mind evolved at most. My mindset on health and my mindset on work very much evolved, and it's still evolving. Coming here to like Kenya and like seeing my grandmother and how amazing this woman is. Like, I'm gonna have to do a separate vlog just for that, because she's yet again changed my mind on how I view work and how I view health yet again. So it's that Uranus power all around. But yeah, if you guys want a reading with me, just let me know. If you've got any questions, those are free. You know, I always say information is free for every single person. Information is free for you. It's all available to you. The only thing you're doing is paying for my lovely energy and my services. But the information is there. So if you have questions or if you're like wondering something, let me know. If I've done a reading for you before, then I'm more than happy to have a conversation, and maybe you book a consultation with me. I'm in Kenya right now, so no consultations being done. But the next coming weeks, I'll be back in the UK, so we can do consultations and etc. God, I'll be hoping I'll be looking at the camera, because when I bend it this way, it's weird. But anyway, so like I was saying, Uranus is going into Taurus, and find that blog on YouTube. I've just posted it on YouTube as a short one. Taurus rules resources, rules your value system, your security, rules your desires. And anywhere Taurus is where we find it hard to let something go. So when you have a planet of freedom coming into an area where we find things hard to let go, you're going to expect some challenges, right? Because challenges is where you grow. You don't grow when you're like comfortable and stuff. No, you grow when things are challenged. Challenges are presented to you. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, man. And oh my God, should I even talk about Capricorn in Pluto? Okay, no, I'm not even going to touch that right now. But anyway, yeah. You guys find out where Aries rules for you, and have a moment of a meditation of where you look back in your life. Because me looking back, I see how, like, why certain things happened, you know, so above, so below. So above, so below. We are all part of this pattern that's going. We're all part, like, you are in a planet that's spinning around in different motions. This earth has 6 motions that it goes through, 6 different type of rotations or motions it goes through. You know, it revolves around its own axis, it goes around the fucking sun, it wobbles, it does a lot. So that still affects you. That affects you, and you're not like, you can't say you're an outlaw of that. You're not out. You cannot be excluded from that principle. So how this Uranus, which we call it like a second, we call it like the sun behind the sun, because it's an energy you cannot, like, it's just one of those energies, man. You just react well to it if you can, positively. So yeah, guys, I don't want to talk forever, but thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for listening. Please do go watch the video on YouTube, share, subscribe. And those who are on Facebook as well, join my Counteractive News on Facebook. See, this is all Uranus. Uranus represents technology, right? So I even took my work online. Like, look what I'm doing right now, right? Earth sign meeting. Like, I really took my work online. Like, really, Uranus in my 6th house is like really changed shit up in there, like changed how I view, like even the way I view my beauty and health. Like the reason why my hair is like this and I do locks is because this is due to me just wanting to be more healthy, like in life. I don't want to put extra harsh chemicals in my hair. I don't want to put even certain oils I don't put in my hair. I treat my hair like it's because this is an extension of myself. It's an extension of what comes from within me all the way out here. This is what I use to help me communicate and to pick up, like, you know how insects like use their antenna. Yeah, this is like the same thing. It picks up signals. So that was still part of how I viewed health. And even I remember I didn't want to do locks because I wouldn't get a job or whatever. But I'm self-employed now, so you know what? And even that mindset changed. That was Uranus all over again. What is it? The blood. Yo, within the 7 years, I like my days. That's when I found out, like, because when I was in Kenya, I didn't know about. Yes, we know about sickle cell and blood thalassemia and alpha thalassemia, beta thalassemia, but I didn't know I had it. So when I was in within the 7 years in London, I found out that I had a blood condition, and how I treated that blood condition then was through medicine and blood transfusions, going to the hospital, etc., etc. But then when I started to know about Dr. Sebi and knowing about all these other Dr. Lala Africa and knowing about these other healers, natural healers, there's another one from Uganda. Yeah, don't know the brother's name, but he's a powerful brother, and yeah, they use like this alternative kind of healing. I started getting into, like, yoga was one thing that really helped me, because yoga adds more breath into you, and your blood needs oxygen, right? So I'm filling my body up with more oxygen and making it more alkaline. Even the way, I can go on, but you can see how my health and my work really, really really were changed. But the biggest thing for me was astrology, coming into astrology and yoga, because Uranus literally represents astrology, like literally, and me becoming an astrologer when it transits my sixth house is no coincidence. It's literally a great pattern. So yeah, okay. You know when people say I'm gonna go, but we don't go. Okay, I'm going for real now. I might post this on YouTube, so I don't know. I'm gonna see. But in saying that, guys, much love, peace. Today's Saturday, so today, you guys know, is a day governed by Saturn. And Saturn wants you to plan yourself out, plan your week, so then you're proper prepared, so you can get things done, so you can manifest by the end of the week what you desired at the beginning of the week. But you can't do that if your mind is all wandering and scattering. So what is it that you wanted to do this week on Monday? Cool. Those are the 3 things I wanted to achieve on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. Keep going that way. Go through your memories as well. Like every night, like review your day every night, so the next morning, okay, you know what, that day yesterday, I needed to behave like this a bit more better, or you know what, nah, I need to act like this, or maybe I don't need to act like this. Review those actions and review the things that you need to complete as well. That's what I can say, because proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's of life. I learned that in yoga. Can you imagine? Like, that was amazing. Like it was amazing. Yeah, my yoga course was just the best. But yeah, so in saying that, guys, I'm actually going to log off now. So thank you so much. If you guys got questions, if you want a reading done for me, let me know. Email me, and when I get back to London, I'll be back to business. I'm not back in business right now because I'm in Kenya, enjoying life. It's sunny out here. It's like the sun outside. I'm not sitting outside, but it's hella sunny here. It's nice. It's there. It's because they're on the southern hemisphere. Our winters are their summers, and vice versa. But yeah, hotep.